Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miri. This channel, if you're new here, is all about personal growth, self-development, self-love, and all the good stuff. So if you're liking what you're seeing, please make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, today's video is all about how to raise our vibration, how to give ourselves the validation, how to give ourselves a good feeling about ourselves, technically. And I have a couple of tips that I want to share with you. So let's get into it. Maybe just a little disclaimer. Some of these tips, maybe all of them for you, are seeming to be like really obvious. Just go in with an open heart, open mind, and see what you can take out of there. Maybe there's something in there that you haven't heard or haven't thought about yet. I'm just here trying to provide something that has helped me, and I want to share it with you and hope it will eventually do the same for you. If it doesn't, you can take it or leave it. But that's all I gotta say. I think we can all agree that external validation feels really great. Hearing a good job, amazing, I'm so proud of you, you did so well, always feels good. The problem is that if we rely too much on external validation, we're trying to seek it more and more without actually giving it to ourselves. What I mean by that is that we rely on other people to tell us that we're doing great, even though we could probably do that ourselves. And the truth is, you might not hear it all the time, right? Not everybody will tell you every single day how proud they are, how well you're doing in life, and so on. So what can we do to actually uplift ourselves, uplift our mood, raise our vibration, and just having a good feeling about ourselves without relying too much on the external validation? The most obvious, I think, of all of them is, well, if you don't want to rely on external validation, why don't we just tell ourselves that we're proud of ourselves? And I know that from my own experience, it's really hard. Sometimes you just don't feel like you're proud of yourself. Sometimes it's like, ooh, what did I even do? Like, I would really love to hear from somebody I'm doing well. If you watched my journaling morning manifestation routine, I was talking about it, and I have a system where every morning when I journal, I have an extra tab or an extra sentence that says success, meaning I'm reflecting on the success of the day before. And that can be as big or as small as you want to be. So sometimes I write things, I got out of bed, I showered, I got a good meal, and that's why I'm proud of myself. Sometimes it's, oh, I actually recorded that YouTube video, I reached out to new clients, I wrote a chapter on my book, something like that. And you will see, like, when you feel down or when I feel down, I'm just looking back on the successes of each day, and you will really just going through the pages. If you're feeling down, be like, I have had a really rough day today. Let me see. Maybe I can uplift myself by looking through all the successes I had that will add up eventually, right? So sometimes I do that, and as I said, it doesn't need to be a super huge thing. We're not having the same energy level. We're not having the best version of you today is different from the best version of yourself tomorrow. So each day will look different. And I think you're just gotta give yourself grace and be aware of that. And if you want to try it, I would encourage you to also just state out loud and tell yourself, I'm proud of myself. And you don't need a reason why. There is no task or something of an accomplishment that you need to reach in order to be proud of yourself. You can just be proud of yourself for who you are in this moment right now. The next tip I have to raise your vibration is getting out in nature. I know from my own experience, when I'm in my head, in my room, in my apartment, just doing the things, and I'm just like feeling stuck, I feel the need to go out in nature. That might be just a 5-10 minute walk, maybe longer. Just getting out and be surrounded by nature is helping you get grounded. If you have the option to and the weather is nice where you live, you can also try grounding yourself. And by grounding, I mean put your bare feet on the grass or on the floor and just stay there, breathe. It's like a little meditation of some sort, and you can really release and breathe into the earth. And there's actually a lot of benefits of grounding yourself with bare feet. I will put that up on the screen, but I would really recommend it if you've never tried it. It might feel weird in the beginning. I have a friend who actually does that in the winter as well. So even if there's snow, she would try to do it if she feels out of balance, and she would just go out, taking her feet out into the cold floor. Just kind of brings a sense of peace and yeah, almost like a rejuvenation. The next tip I have for you goes a little bit hand in hand with the one I talked about before. It's movement. Any kind of movement. If you're doing yoga, if you're dancing, even if you're dancing for yourself in your room, just turn on music and just dance for yourself. It doesn't need to look good. It doesn't need to fulfill any kind of accomplishment or task or whatever. It's just to shake your body up, get the energy moving. And I promise you that if you have your favorite song in on your headphones or on your computer or wherever you listen to music, you will feel better immediately. And as I said, movement is different for everybody. So if you like to go on walks in nature, maybe, that might be the movement of choice to just get you moving and renewing your energy and feeling good about yourself. As I said, dancing is great, yoga is great, really anything. If you're anything, I could come up with 10 more examples for what kind of movement you can do, but I'm pretty sure you're getting it. So just move your body however you want to. Doesn't need to be long, but I promise you'll feel better afterwards. What helps me enormously is meditation. I don't always do it daily. I think I should, because I know it feels good for me. But meditation is one of the practices that I really try to do at least a couple times a week, because it calms my mind. And if you have anxiety or like just you're an overthinker and thoughts are constantly running through your head and you're like, oh God, I gotta do this and this and this and this, it really helps. There is also a saying, if I find it, I'll put it on the screen, but the more stressed you are, the longer you should meditate. So technically, if you don't have time, you need to meditate longer, because you and your body needs it. If you're new to meditation and you would like a guide on how to meditate, I can definitely do a video, so let me know in the comments below if you would be interested in that. But meditation, again, doesn't need to be only sitting still in a quiet room for 30 minutes, right? You can do that, of course, but you can also do it for shorter amounts. When I started meditating, I started with 5 minutes, and I started with guided meditations, meaning that you had somebody talking to you. It's more like a visualization of some sort, and there's not just quiet and you have something to focus on. Because I think the most common thing when people think about meditation is, oh, I'm not allowed to think about anything. But it's just about letting the thoughts pass without giving them too much attention, right? And the guided meditations really helped me to focus on what the person was saying, and you could just kind of relax into that. And I would always feel more comfortable, more calm, more energetic afterwards. Meditation can also be dancing, movement, yoga, walking in nature, all of the things that I mentioned before. It's different for everybody, so please don't get down on yourself when you're like, yeah, I tried meditating and I can't sit down and I can't sit still. I'm right there with you. It's hard. It's not always easy, but find a way of a meditative state that works for you. Drawing works for a lot of people. Maybe writing, there's no right or wrong answer here. I've seen this meme the other day and it really made me laugh. It goes along the lines of, Humans are just like plants, just with more complex and complicated emotions. And as you can tell, maybe, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm obsessed with plants. I have a lot at home. But hydrating yourself and getting a nutritious meal and getting out in the sunshine is sometimes all we need to feel better about ourselves. And last but not least, something that I am probably mentioning in every single video, but it is so important, is gratitude. Being grateful for the things that are already working out and things that you have, things that we might take for granted. I've said it before, but drinking water, having food, having a home, having friends that you can laugh with, having a family that is supportive, having a pet, I don't know, anything that you can think of, and writing a list of these things, that is really so helpful. Another thing I am doing, or I'm trying to do more of, is what I call the list of small joys. And that one brings me so much joy, even just talking about it or thinking about it. It's little things that just bring you joy. For example, for me, it's in the fall, for example, when the leaves are falling down to the ground and they're getting really crunchy and you're stepping onto them. That sound makes me so happy. Another thing, my husband's always laughing at me, but it brings me so much joy when we're having waffles for breakfast. Putting the maple syrup in these tiny little, I don't know what you call them, they're not holes, but like those dips, and I'm filling up every little dip by itself, and then I'm eating my waffle. I don't know why, but this brings me so much joy, and I'm sure there's things for you that will have the same effect. And every time like I notice something like that and I'm like, oh, this is really a small thing that brings me so much joy, I have in my notes app on my phone, I have an extra tab with the list of small joys, and I will put it down and I would write down things that come up. Maybe if you had a fun conversation with a friend or some kind of inside joke, I would write it down. And when I feel bad, really, or I'm just having a bad day, let's be honest, everybody has it. Like this whole everybody be happy all the time is just not working that way, right? We're all having days where it's just not working out. Maybe we have weeks where we don't feel good at all. But having this list, just looking at it, reminds me and puts me back into like a space where I'm like, oh yeah, I really appreciate these things. And the same goes with gratitude. If you haven't seen any of the things that I was talking about with gratitude, I have my morning journal video. I will link that below, where I talk a lot about it, and yeah, just go into that. With that being said, thank you so much for joining. I'm hoping you're having the best day. If you enjoy what you're seeing, I would love your support. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. I would love to have you here. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for any other videos that you want to see, maybe a guided meditation or a beginner's guide on how to meditate, I would love to do that. Let me know, and I will see you here next week. Have a good one. Bye.